Chief Meteorologist Brad Petovich here with your live weather impact update tonight. We're going to do 8 minutes local weather tonight. We don't have our full show for the holiday week. Tim Buckley is off, so we're going to have this every night this week. If you want to check in and just get a quick 8-minute update. The story this week, though, is going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be warm. Starting on your Tuesday, temperatures warming back up into the 60s. Christmas Eve, probably going to threaten record territory. The record on Christmas Eve is one we could break, and I'll show you that in a minute. Now, Christmas Day, I think, will be shy of the record. It's 77, set way back in 1955. That looks safe, but we could have one of the warmest Christmas days, I should say, on record. Could be ending up number 2. Now, tonight we had a gorgeous sunset, as you saw from our Dallas camera, our Mr. Sparky camera network. We saw some pretty cool, what we call atmospheric optics today. That's when we have those ice crystals in the cirrus clouds, and depending on the shape of the crystal, you can get some pretty cool optics. These circumhorizontal arcs, all these kind of halos. Sometimes you get what we call sundogs. So some pretty cool phenomena could pop up here the next couple of days with the high clouds that we had across right there and that low sun angle. Those high clouds are moving out and skies are clearing briefly, but the high clouds will move back in tonight. That's 2 reasons why it's going to be warmer tonight. We've got southwest winds developing, but also that cloud deck will act like a little bit of a blanket. That will trap in some of the warmth and keep temperatures definitely warmer than the last couple of nights when we saw frosty conditions in the 20s and 30s. But in the middle of the country, huge ridge of high pressure. This is a very summer-like pattern. The jet stream is all the way up here into Canada and then diving down into the northeast. So this giant ridge is giving us warm temperatures. Now today we saw a lot of 70s and even some 80s. All kinds of records will be falling in the middle of the country, even into parts of the Midwest, and closer to us, we may see several records fall in Asheville, upstate South Carolina, into the Charlotte area. Today was exactly average. The current temperatures right now, we're in the 40s and 50s, so seasonably cool, and you don't see this very often. I mean, our average high is 54 and 34. That's our 30-year average. The thing about the average high and low, that's what it is. It's the average. It's taking all the temperatures that have happened on this date over the last 30 years, and you get an average temperature. So sometimes you can have an average temperature when it was never actually that temperature for that day. It's just an average. But today, we did it. 54 and 34, right on the nose. That is a rarity to have that exactly happen. And tonight, slightly above average, as I mentioned, thanks to that wind shifting around and the cloud cover. I think temperatures, for the most part, will be in the upper 30s to low 40s overnight. But tomorrow, probably some morning clouds. You'll wake up to those clouds in the morning. That could slow down the warming trend, but as soon as the sun comes out and you throw in a southwest wind, which you know we call that the blowtorch for a good reason, that's when we see our warmest air around here, and that's our warmest flow. A couple of warm fronts trying to push up to the north. That ushers in that southwest wind. Backdoor front gets close on Wednesday, but not close enough. You can see that little band of moisture right in here. This is likely where we're going to see the front. So on Christmas Day, southwest winds with a front to the north, that's a pretty ideal setup for some really warm temperatures, especially when the air is as dry as it is right now. That's why I expect temperatures to be in the mid-70s. Now, the long-range outlook shows the ridge kind of centered over the middle of the country, but there are hints, eastern part of the country, that we're going to see cooler weather. Don't be fooled by this, because once we get past Sunday, there's a really good sign. We're going to see a pretty dramatic drop in temperatures. So it's warm this week, make no bones about it. Above average temperatures, a sure bet over the next several days and right through the weekend. But by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, there's a real good chance we're going to see temperatures below average. Now, Christmas Day is kind of an interesting day. Everybody wants to see snow on Christmas Day, and I joke about this, but it's true. There's been more 70-degree days on Christmas than snow. 4 days we've had measurable snow on Christmas, but we've had 6 days of 70 plus. 2 of those, you might remember, 2015, and not too long ago, just 4 years ago, on 2021, we were 71. This year, I think we're going to have day number 7 of 70 plus. The question is, how far into the 70s? Right now, I'm going with a high temperature of 75, which would be the warmer side of our guidance. But even if we're 72 or 73, that's going to put us in the top 3 warmest Christmas days on record. You can see the average is just 53. And again, if we have full sunshine, 75 is very, very doable. and we could set a couple of records. Now, Christmas Eve, the record's very much in reach because it's just 73. I'm going 74. Christmas Day, as I mentioned, I'm going pretty warm with 75. So even that would be below the record. Same story for the day after Christmas, which is 77. But look at Saturday. Saturday is kind of the last day of the really warm stuff. 75 is possible. The record is just 72 set back in 2021, another very warm year. That was a warm stretch. Think about that. Back on Christmas in 2021, it was 71, then it was 77, then it was 72. That is a warm stretch. And this will be a very reminiscent pattern to 2021. But if I told you at the beginning of the year that Christmas would be warmer than Labor Day and Halloween, you probably said I was crazy, but we have a legitimate chance of that happening. This last Labor Day, which was on September 7th, it was 74 degrees for a high. Halloween this year, which was pretty warm for Halloween standards, 65. Christmas 2025 could be 75 degrees. Hard to imagine that we could actually have a warmer Christmas than Halloween and Labor Day. That heat, you can see it's a ridge of high pressure, kind of looks like a summer pattern here, but I mentioned the big changes that will be arriving Sunday into Monday. Watch this dip in the jet stream coming down Sunday night right there. It'll carve out a dip in the jet stream. This will allow cold air to sneak down the East Coast starting Monday into Tuesday. So this is when we're going to see the flip in the pattern. Temperature is going to go from spring-like, like April 25th instead of December 25th. We'll go right back to January 25th weather as we get into the time after this weekend. So here's the next 7 days. Look how much above average we're going to be. Way up there for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But then look at Monday, 42 for a high. That's 11 degrees below average. And no rain really in the forecast right now, though Sunday into Monday is a time period I am keeping an eye on because that front that comes in with the colder air, I'll show it to you right here on Sunday. Right there could be some moisture, so something to keep an eye on. Here's a look at your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. That is a warm stretch of weather. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday. Home Panthers game on Sunday, 68 degrees with sunshine. But then look at Monday, just 42 degrees. So enjoy the warm weather. It's not sticking around.